Weston FC will have the first touch here as we get set to get underway. And there we are. Weston FC turning it back as Nick Butler is pressuring the defensive line here. He lobbed up into the midfield. Lukasic contesting that one. No foul there. And Pedro Santos now taking it ahead for the Villages from midfield. To Murtha here on the near side. And he will play back to Ganime, his center back, who will hand off to his partner, Iago Lopez. Lopez to Lukasic. Back over to Lopez. And Ganime. Villages being very patient. You see everybody kind of slowly working forward here. Trying to get the entire offense up into attacking position. Maybe some miscommunication there on that pass. And it will go out of bounds. It appeared last touched by Weston. And that was Gabriel Rivas, who just got a foot to it as it went out of bounds. So long throw in from Murtha back to Lopez. Lopez up to Tachu, his first touch of the game. Tachu hesitating in the midfield, now turning back. Send it out to the wing for Leo Paiva, his first action in 2.5 weeks here. Leading scorer for the Villages SC. Plays back to Tachu. Tachu plays forward to Butler. Maybe mistouched that one a little bit, but gets it back. Up into the far corner. Lukasic going to try a cross. Paiva there with the header, and he's got a goal! Oh, and it's been waved off for a foul. Very nearly had an incredible moment with Leo Paiva scoring in the 2nd minute of the game, but waved off for a foul there.
That was a really good ball from Austin Lukasic to send that in to Leo Paiva on the back post. It looked like a pretty good challenge, but the referee said that there was just too much on that, but that was really good play from the Villages early on.
Yeah, I can't take anything away from the cross there by Austin. Absolutely perfect ball. Paiva able to get the head to it, but just a little too much contact in the contest. Now Lucas Mauro, again, who sat out with Paiva in that previous match, loses ball here. Pedro Santos now pressuring. Daniel Oliveira with him, heading all the way back to those two center backs, and they'll fling it out wide to the far side. Mauro again pressuring, gets inside there and knocks this one away, but out of bounds. Actually, they will say another foul against the Villages there on that contest. Weston sending this one up top. Rivas chasing, and it does not look as though he'll get to this one, so it'll be a throw-in for the Villages here. Referees for tonight's contest, Alejo Kalume in the head ref's position. Assistant referees Camille Sikora and Caleb Lewis, and Scott Hutchinson is here on the near side as the side judge. And this will go out of bounds. They'll say deflected off of a Villages SC player. Quick throw in for Weston. Ball into the box. Ganime gets a head back on it to Jackson Lee. He played extremely well in the match against Florida Elite on Saturday. Got himself a clean sheet in his first start for the Buffalo. Weston now coming back with it off of his kick. Murtha coming in to stop momentum a little bit here, but Rivas back on it. Looking for Markowitz out there up top, but that ball just a little bit past his head. Villages SC will have a goal kick here. Quickly taken out to Murtha. Murtha into the middle for Santos. He's going to be knocked down. See the ball tapped away from him there. The initial tackle was clean, but the contact after the touch, not so much. Tachu now. He's over to Santos, wearing the captain's band tonight for the Buffalo. Paiva looking to work an overlap with Murtha, now takes it inside. Oliveira looking for someone to play this ball as the defense gathers in front of him. This one goes all the way back to Iago Lopez by way of Santos. Lopez up for Butler, who plays it around himself, looking to cross here. Roller on the ground, tapped away by Weston, and eventually cleared out. High ball here, Ganime settling for it. Markowitz coming into challenge. Ganime, Tachu. Tachu has it knocked away, and Weston FC will take back over. Contested ball there, Santos knocks it away. Oliveira in possession here. Trying to get a man off his back. DeMille was in front of him, and that was tough play there. Santos. Now over to Murtha. Murtha has Paiva in front of him, moving towards the middle. We'll play back to Lopez. 5 minutes gone here in this one. Again, early goal wiped out by a push. And Steven, you said that Leo Paiva has looked somewhat like a man possessed in training the last couple of weeks while he's been unable to play with the first team. Unsurprising to see him attempting goals early?
No, not at all. He's been in a really good, little good spurt of scoring a lot of goals in training, so I know he's feeling sharp and he's looking really sharp, so hopefully he can go ahead and get a couple more tonight.
Mauro dispossessed on the far corner. Nick Butler looking to win it back for the Villages, and he will. Plays it back to Iago Lopez. Village is keeping the attack on here. You see the defensive line pressed all the way up here for them. Murtha now with it. Taps out to Paiva. Paiva sending across, and nobody going to be home. Just a little too much curve. It looks as though he was searching for Nick Butler. Unable to get to that one.
I think the wide areas and crosses are going to be key tonight, because whenever teams like Weston like to sit back and be very compact, getting it out wide and being able to get in crosses always are good options. So I think that's going to be some plays to watch for us whenever the Villages can get that ball out wide and can whip in a good cross.
That was very much the strategy for Weston FC in the first matchup between these two teams. Packed a really tight defense back in the last third, made it nearly impossible in a much narrower field. The Villages hoping they can take advantage of a little bit wider space here at their own facility. Oliveira tapping it up the sideline for Paiva. Paiva trying to go a little back heel on the overlap with Murtha, has it knocked away there by Booze Patton. Paiva throw in. Santos plays into the middle for Tachu. Tachu to Mauro. Mauro with some space. He's going to take a shot just a little bit high. Would have been quite the goal, and just needed to bring it down a smidge, but great look there by Mauro. Just couldn't quite get it under the bar.
Yeah, it was a really good shot. Lucas has been another one in training that's been scoring a lot of goals, so hopefully maybe he can get one as well.
Turned over by Weston FC. Murtha taking it up here. Now Paiva, one touch into the middle for Oliveira. Oliveira, I think, thought about a shot there. Instead plays out wide to Lukasic, who's got a lot of room on the right. Lukasic made that gorgeous cross earlier. Gives off to Tachu now. Tachu's going to try a shot, and it deflects in! A shot and a goal. I don't know about you. I couldn't see who that deflected off of, but if that's a defender, that's going to be a goal for Cedric Tachu.
Yeah.
Outstanding shot, and the Villages have the lead in the 8th minute.
That was a really good shot from Cedric Tachu there, and really good fortunate deflection to just put it in that top corner. So that's great to start off with an early goal tonight.
Weston now going to be playing from behind for the first time in the series here. Oliveira comes in and contests here, knocks that ball out of bounds, so Weston will have the throw in. Fantastic shot by Tachu, and Weston losing this ball out of bounds here off the throw in. Paiva looking to move quickly. Butler looking to get up ahead, but Paiva's throw will not reach him. If he'd maybe given that a little bit more, but trying to move quickly, and now a foul going to be called against Tachu as he was trying to break the back line and press up off a turnover there, unable to get it cleanly. Now on the back line, this is Musenden. Long ball sent up ahead. It's going to make it all the way back to Jackson Lee, who corrals it calmly. Throw out to the near side here. This is Murtha. Murtha tried to play it back. Looked like Rivas got a piece of it, but Eric Anime able to play it over to Iago Lopez. Jackson Lee was calling for it. I think that may have been where Murtha was trying to go with it, but Villages escapes right there. Ganime now on this one. Gives out to Murtha. Murtha with defense closing on him. Tries to send one up ahead. Rivas got a foot to it, and it'll deflect down safely. Looking to get rid of this one here is Weston. In the back line, this is Gonzalez. Up into the middle. Give and go here. Paiva battling over here on the sideline. Thought that ball went out of bounds. No call from the official, though. Now Ganime coming back with it the other way. Paiva making a run on the left side. Ganime looking to find him. Paiva will beat his man, making the turn inside. Sends it across. Ganime doesn't touch. Oliveira does. It was blocked away and stays on for the Villages. Lucas Mauro now on it on the far side. He will play back now to Lukasic, and the Villages will reset. Austin Lukasic quickly trying across. Butler going to get the head to it. Doesn't quite get enough, and it'll be handled by Lupicatondo. Now Weston coming with it on the near side. Boost Patton losing it out of bounds. Had it knocked away there by Pedro Santos. Throw in here for Weston. Paul Boost Patton looking for a target for this throw-in pass here. Unable to make a decision. Now eventually goes in here, and Tavan Musenden had it knocked away, but a foul whistled against the Villages SC. I believe that was Paiva whistled for that one. Musenden not happy with the play there. Now advancing this ball on the far side is DeMille. DeMille trying to play it forward, has it knocked away, but it finds Markowitz. He will play out to the left side. Iago Lopez is going to head this one back in to stop a corner kick. And Lukasic sends it up ahead to Butler. Butler now trying to get away from two men. Will leave it back to Lukasic here, and he will send out to Iago Lopez so the Villages can begin some offense. Murtha near side, Paiva back to Murtha. Murtha has it tapped away there. Gabriel Rivas contesting. Murtha quickly just going back into Ganime, who shakes a man there. There's Markowitz coming up to press. Tachu for Lukasic. Back into Tachu. Tachu going to send to the far side. Paiva having to track back for it. Keeps it in. Gets it past Boost Patton, actually deflected off of his thigh, and will be a throw-in for the Villages here. Murtha into Oliveira. Back to Murtha. All the way back to Ganime. Quick tap into Santos. One touch out to Tachu. Tachu into the middle for Lucas Mauro. Mauro dribbling around a man. Now he's going to take that shot again. Deflected and stopped by Lupicatondo.
That was some really good build-up play there from the Buffalo. You could see that they were moving the ball around with quick 1 and 2 touches. And again, they're getting it in those good areas for Lucas to drop in deep and then look to turn and drive at the defense.
Tachu making a turn up the line here and has it knocked away. Good defense by Weston that time. Iago Lopez gets ahead to this one just to stop the quick attack. And a foul, I believe, against Austin Lukasic, who was battling with Markowitz on the far side. Ball sent on here. Jackson Lee in front of that one. I believe we can count that as Weston's first shot of the game. Nobody home for had that been across. Butler manages to get the tap through, and now Leo Paiva battling with Booze Patton, trying to get to the touchline, sends one across, has it knocked away by Andres Gonzalez, and that will result in a corner kick for the Villages SC. So Daniel Oliveira coming back to take this one for the Buffalo. Another opportunity here for the Villages, who already lead 1-0. Paiva heading towards the near post. And a large cluster of green jerseys out away from the net. There's the signal. Oliveira, cross. It gets over the head of Santos, who appeared to be the target man who was charging in. Tachu will keep the attack on for the Villages. Out to Oliveira here on the wing. Plays one forward for Murtha, who will work back towards the touchline. Crosses it in. Header by Paiva. Went over the goal, and he took a shot. Tough play right there. Leo Paiva hitting the deck hard after the collision in the air. Went up for the header. Pretty exposed and was absolutely bodied. Oliveira coming in to disrupt there. Manages to knock it out of bounds. So Weston will keep possession. Here's Rivas. Goes back to Masendon. Back to Rivas. And he will give it back to Gonzalez. Gonzalez looking to send. Intercepted by Paiva. Oliveira to Santos. Santos trying to battle for this one against two men. Murtha coming in now. And Santos will be the one who comes out of the scrum with it. Up to Paiva. Paiva will play back to Ganime. The Buffalo will try to get something set up here. Last few passes have been pretty hectic, so getting it to Iago Lopez to work with some space. He'll send out to Santos, who has made it all the way out to the wing now. Santos working into the middle. Inside for Mauro. Mauro trying to make a turn. Has it taken away by Guarini. And now Weston will look to advance. This is Markowitz on it. Plays back to his defensive line. It's Gonzalez. Out to the far side. Working it back in. Lukasic challenging there. Gets it to Mauro. Mauro will find Paiva out here on the near side. Paiva working it towards the goal against two men. Try to cross and had it knocked away by Federico Guarini. So another corner opportunity coming for the Villages.
You can tell that the Buffalo are really feeling it tonight. They're playing with a lot of confidence going forward, and Leo's been making some good runs. Lucas has been turning, taking some shots, so you can see that the Buffalo are playing with a lot of confidence when they're going forward.
And you can tell the last few minutes that early goal has kind of forced Weston to try and press a little bit. The Village is taking advantage of the space that leaves in the back. Oliveira, long on the cross, curling away from the goal. Butler couldn't quite get the touch he wanted off the hop, and it will go out of bounds. So no damage. So Weston's situation there. Picatondo plays short to Gonzalez. Now Mauro coming up to pressure the back line. Now intercepts, has it knocked away. Well, unable to get back towards the touchline where he was headed, and could have been a dangerous situation there with Paiva trailing the play, but it'll be throw-in here for the Villages instead. Murtha getting set to take this one. Gustavo Murtha in quickly to Mauro. One touch back to Murtha. He will play back to Ganime, looking to reset. Markowitz pressuring the ball on that play. Out to Lukasic. He's got Butler ahead of him. We'll find him. Who plays back to Iago Lopez. Lopez to Ganime. Ganime looking to advance this one now as the Weston defense settles in. Santos trying to go up top. Butler was cut off. Ran into the back of his man there. He's looking for a foul. He was impeded from getting to the ball. Weston now moving it back the other way, though. Butler contesting. They will send all the way back to Masendon, the center back. And now he will try to play out to the near side here. Going to be tricky to keep this in bounds. Boost Patton does. Plays into the middle for Rivas, and now Weston once again on the advance. So we'll get out to DeMille, and he will play out to the far side. Weston unable to find anything to cross there. Once again playing all the way back to the defensive three. Gonzalez gives it off. And now a long cross out to the near side here. This is Guarini on it. Federico Guarini takes across midfield. Plays it up ahead for Rivas. Rivas battling with Murtha. Murtha in good position. Now Rivas cutting inside. Oliveira was in there to maybe influence the direction of his shot a little bit. Butler passing back off the turnover. Now Paiva one-on-one with Guarini on the near side. A little bit of footwork. Stops. And now we'll play back to Murtha as he was cut off on the sideline. Good job by Guarini there, not biting on the bit of footwork as Paiva was looking to buy some space to burn up the sideline quickly. Mauro back to Tachu. And here's Santos. Now to Murtha. Murtha rolls one in for Oliveira. Oliveira back to Ganime. Ganime thought about trying to play one up far, but instead goes short to Tachu. Now Ganime gets it back. Working against an attacker here. We'll play all the way out to Lukasik. Lukasik into the middle for Mauro. Mauro going to try a shot. Potentially took a deflection there off of Andres Gonzalez and out of bounds. So yet another corner coming for the Villages. This will be the third one. We are just over 20 minutes played so far in this match. Mauro will take from the right side for the Villages. Gifted left foot. Comes, it is at about head height, loose in front of the goal and played out of bounds. I believe that was DeMille there who was able to clear it away, but another corner coming, this time Daniel Oliveira back over on the left side to take for the Buffalo. Paiva coming up as though he was going to play short, now retreats back towards the near post. He's marked by Booze Patton. Oliveira resets his placement here. Into the box, punched away by Lupica Tondo. Iago Lopez going to chase this one down. Plays back to Oliveira. He's going to look for another cross here. Tries to shake his defender. Tries to turn one on the ground. Settled by Paiva. Paiva trying to turn and take a shot in. Couldn't quite find the post. Not sure if it was deflected, though, by the movement there. It will be another corner. So the Villages continuing to harass Weston FC up in front of the goal.
Yeah, the Buffalo are doing well just to sustain that pressure. They've been doing well moving the ball, and now that they're able to stay in the final third, they're getting a lot of good chances from these corners.
Have to feel it's only a matter of time before one of them successful. And right there, Paiva got too much head on the front there, fighting against two men. Booze Patton, one of them, trying to get to that corner there. Couldn't quite get around it to send it back towards the net. So finally, Weston FC does escape, at least for the moment, as they will have a goal kick to finally clear this one out of their defensive third. Lupica Tondo to Booze Patton now on the line drive kick. Booze Patton working it towards the middle. Gives it to DeMille. Tachi retreating after initially showing pressure, and that one goes right past Luis Mendoza. So, throw in for the Villages here. They'll look to get back on the attack as we approach just over, actually, halfway through this first half of play. Murtha looking to throw in. Goes all the way back to Jackson Lee. And he will send this one long, looking for Nick Butler in a 1-on-3 up top. And this will bounce back to Guarini. Guarini out to Booze Patton. Play back to the defense once again. Gonzalez. Leaving off for Masendon. Guarini again. And once again to Masendon. Back line of Weston FC very slowly and gradually advancing this one. Pedro Santos coming in to contest here. Should have been a handball first against Weston and then potentially against Santos. Neither one called. Now Santos working against two men will head back towards the corner, has it knocked away, and so the Villages will have a throw-in.
Good pressure from the Buffalo. They've been holding their shape well whenever they do lose the ball, whenever they have to defend. They've been able to hold their shape well and win that ball back quickly.
And that was a good challenge there by Santos, as I think Weston had gotten maybe a little bit complacent with how slowly they were moving that ball up the field. Lopez trying to send it all the way out to the far side for Paiva. Was not going to get there. Booze Patton manages to get that one around Paiva to Rivas. He gives off to Mendoza. Mendoza working against Tachu, crosses one in. Markowitz should have been well offsides there, and there is the whistle. First of the game called against either team. Markowitz well ahead of the play on that one. Jackson Lee will roll this one in, and see, it looks as though Ganime will take the place kick. Sends out to Iago Lopez, far side. He will play back into the middle to Ganime. 25th minute comes to a close. Village is leading 1-0. After an early goal from Cedric Tachu, 8th minute laser took a deflection up into the upper part of the frame as now Lucas Mauro turns it inside, gives to Santos, plenty of space to work with. He's going to try a shot. It took a deflection on the back line. Butler was there, couldn't quite get a hold of it. Butler now trying to cross, rolling in front of the net, and just there is Lucas Mauro to clean it up. Great job by Nick Butler staying with the play after not getting the touch to get the shot, rolls it along the ground, and Mauro hunting in front of the net, punches it home. The Villages 2, Weston 0.
Really good play. Lucas has been hungry for a goal all night tonight. You could tell he was taking quite a few shots. And for him just to follow up on that play, and it was just right place at the right time, and he was able to slot that one in for his first goal of the season. So I know he's going to be buzzing about that one.
Great stretch of play there for the Buffalo. And again, with all those corners, with all that pressure, you felt like something had to give, and there it finally did. And funny enough, after just having relieved that pressure, it was when the Villages had to get back on the attack instead of during that long stretch of sustained pressure. But now Musenden here for Weston, as Weston will very much be trying to get back into this one. Tachu, risky challenge there, but got it cleanly. The ref will say DeMille loses it. Now Mauro taking it back the other way, coming off the goal. He's looking for something else. Back towards the corner, has it knocked away. Appeared by Adam Gonzalez out on that far side. Quick throw in for the Buffalo. Lukasic back to Tachu. Tachu looking to change fields. Gets it all the way over to Murtha. He tries to settle, working against Booze Patton. Gets around him, and there is the whistle as he took a cleat to the back of the foot there, it seemed. Took him off his feet. Murtha shaking this one off. Booze Patton getting a little bit of a warning right there. Referee Alejo Kalume not issuing a card just yet, but the warning for the tough challenge there. Oliveira will take this one. Right-footed opportunity. We'll see from this angle. He could elect to try and take the shot. Large cluster of green jerseys at the edge of the box. One-man wall in front of Lupicatondo. And Oliveira does, in fact, elect for the shot. Saved by Lupicatondo. Paiva tried to get it back in. It was deflected away and just barely knocked away by the defense of Weston FC. free kick coming just shy of midfield for Weston. Tachi made the risky challenge out there and paid the price. Mendoza will take the place kick for the visitors. Gets it into Rivas. Rivas bumped, but gets it back to Mendoza. Tried to play it to Musendin, but not on the same page there. Now Oliveira taking it back the other way. He's got Paiva on the left. He's got Butler on his right. Lukasic all the way out on the wing. Oliveira's going to take the shot! And a goal! What a play by Daniel Oliveira. Another guy who's been hunting for a goal this season. We saw him just miss on the free kick a moment before, or was just stopped rather, and will not be denied on that one. The Villages goes up 3-0 in the 32nd.
My goodness, what a rocket. Daniel Oliveira received the ball, turned, and you thought he was going to play in. Nick Butler, Austin Lukasic out wide, and he just stepped up, put his laces through that one, and put it right in the top corner. Really good hit from Oliveira there. Amazing goal.
Absolutely great work by Oliveira, who, for as impressive as an offensive player as he's been this season, kind of surprising to think that he did not previously have a goal. A guy that the way he's played, I think one of them would have gone through for him. Manages to finally put himself in that column in the stat book this week.
Yeah, he's been very close now for the past couple games, getting a lot of good chances, but tonight he was finally just able to step up and put that one in the back of the net.
Foul out on the far side. I believe this will be against Weston FC as Lukasic was taken down out there. It is indeed. So Iago Lopez will take the free kick from the far edge, plays it back across to Jackson Lee. Looks like we'll have the first substitution of the game coming up. Weston FC will bring on another player. Ball played up over the top. Mauro hunting that one. Oliveira also after it. Played back. Mauro gets ahead to it to leave it off for Tachu, so the Village is still here with it. Santos looking to make a move here to get around Demille. Gives it Oliveira. Back to Ganime. Ganime to Oliveira. He's got very little space. Coming back the other way with it now is Weston FC. Played into the middle, but Iago Lopez there to take it. Jackson Lee will receive his pass in front of the goal. Plays up to Tachu.
Great defensive work from Iago Lopez. He read that one well. That could have easily been a quick counterattack, but Lopez read that one very quickly and was able to step up and intercept the pass. There's been a lot of intensity so far tonight from the Buffalo. You can tell they've played good in every game that they've played in so far, but you can tell that there's an urgency, a drive to score goals tonight, and you can tell that a lot of the training that we've been doing in the past couple weeks, all the tactics are finally starting to come together, and a lot of the guys are putting those pieces together.
Long switch out here to Santos. Two subs actually now getting set to come in for Weston. Oliveira tries to play forward. He'll find Paiva. Paiva couldn't quite get the touch to it as it was deflected by Boots Patton, but he'll chip it back in. Goes over the head of Mauro. A little bit of miscommunication perhaps there by the Buffalo. Oliveira now contesting Mendoza and Gonzalez in the far corner. And Mendoza will now bring it up that far sideline. Back and forth with Musendin. Gives off to Rivas. Rivas into the middle for Demille. To Guarini. And now for Lopez. Back to Guarini. Who's Patton. And Guarini will play all the way back to Lupicatondo. So I have to wonder, granted the current schedule situation, again, the Village is playing 5 games in the span of 12 days. Has there been discussion in training about trying to score early to get some substitutes into the game, get some guys some rest, try to keep everybody healthy and fit for this stretch of a really compact stretch of the schedule?
Yeah, there definitely has been, just really working on, like you said, getting those chances early on and making sure we put them in the back of the net, just so that way it relieves that pressure whenever you're going into the 70th minute. You're not having to worry about trying to fight to get a goal or two to seal the game. If you can try and seal it earlier on, you're able to bring on fresh legs and give some of the guys a little bit of a rest.
The Village is doing a good job of that tonight. Again, up this one. See Ethan Folks come onto the pitch. replacing Kellner Lopez, as well as Jay Portella. He'll be replacing DeMille. Early subs for Weston. Have to wonder at what point Anderson De Silva will go to his bench to try to get some reprieve for his starting lineup. Jackson Lee, long kick, high, going to be dropping just about straight down. Gonzalez underneath it. Lukasik and Butler gathering around this one. Butler battling with Musendin for it. Will win it out to Mauro. Mauro looking to take it inside. Passes into Oliveira. Oliveira trying to chip one out for Paiva. He will find him. Paiva looking to work around Boost Patton. Will do so, but was closed in on. Oliveira now to Tachu, and he skies this one. Got a little bit too far underneath it. First shot from him, an absolute laser. Perfect touch in that one. Just like I said, got a little bit too far under it.
Might have got a little over anxious on that one. Just got his foot just a little under that one. Good defending from Eric Bastos. Anytime that Weston's had any type of pressure going forward, Eric Bastos and Iago Lopez in the middle have done a really good job, and of course Gustavo Murtha and Austin Lukasik out on the flanks doing a good job defending.
That center back unit of Lopez and Ganime, veteran players for the Villages, have been here before, guys that they're always excited to bring back to the club. As Oliveira puts a little bit of pressure on the Weston defense here, we'll play it forward to Musendin and left off for one of the substitutes here, Portella. He plays it up ahead, but too far up ahead for Markowitz. So goal kick coming for Jackson Lee. Lee last week had a great kick, created an opportunity for the Villages, which led to an unfortunate collision between Nick Butler and the goalkeeper from Florida Elite, but caught the keeper out of position away from the goal off the pass of Jackson Lee, the sort of accurate and powerful pass that you see come off of his leg from time to time, and just has to play this one out here, leave Weston a throw in. See, again, the visitors making some substitutes early. Sort of a desperate situation here, down 3-0. We close in on about 6.5 minutes until the end of first half regulation. See how much stoppage is assigned, not too much outside of the 3 goals. As Garini receives here from Gonzalez, looking to play it forward with some space. Paiva coming up to challenge as Boost Patton takes it out on the side. He'll play one over the top. Ganime will track it down here as chasing that ball was Ethan Folks. Line drive pass will not make it all the way back to Paiva, but Oliveira is able to settle. Plays out to Murtha. Murtha managed to play it around his man. Now Oliveira working the sideline. Markowitz in front of him. Back heel pass, leaves it off to Murtha, to Paiva, back to Oliveira, who now has some space. Oliveira still playing towards the goal. Now we'll play back into the center for Santos. Santos out wide, Lukasik. Gonzalez closing on him. He plays up ahead to Mauro. Mauro will look for a crossing opportunity here. Cutting back towards the inside, has it knocked away. And now played forward. Mendoza leading the counterattack for Weston. Manages to keep off Lukasik. Plays back to his man. And now Musendin will play back to Garini. Portella back to Garini. And Gonzalez will play forward to Mendoza. Butler shadowing. Now plays out wide. Weston looking for something, anything here. Mendoza back on it. Has to play it back into the center circle from Musendin. As the Weston back line has finally made it to midfield. Portella. Off to Boost Patton. Back to Garini. Back into the center for Andres Gonzalez. And Garini now, again, looking to send. Will advance it slowly. Hands off to Folks. Folks taking towards the middle in front of the box. lost some control there and goes down. Weston bench wanted a foul, but not enough there to warrant a whistle, according to the officials. Mendoza, center circle, moving forward now. Waves off Folks. Now we're going to try a shot, and that one sailing upward and well over the crossbar. Just the second shot of the game for Weston FC. Villages quickly back on it. Jackson Lee to Ganime, played up to Santos, who was guarded closely. He will play back to Ganime. Now Iago Lopez with some space. We'll get it out to the right side for Lukasik. Into the middle for Tachu. Now Santos. Santos advancing across midfield, passes off to Murtha. Murtha up the sideline for Paiva. Fending off Booz Patton. Plays back into the center for Tachu. Tachu working away from Musendin. Gives to Santos. Paiva calling for it. Now works on the overlap with Murtha. Gets it to him. Murtha looking to play into the box. Guarded by two. And just loses it there to Portela, who was in the area as well. Mendoza out on the near side to Folks. Back to Portela. Musendin gives it back. Portela out to Mendoza, right side. Advancing here, had Markowitz up top, decides to go inside instead. And now on it and whiffing on the kick was Tavon Musendin. Goal kick coming for the Villages after what looked like Weston's best developed attack. Snuffs itself out there with the missed kick.
Yalla,
43 minutes gone now. As Ganime sends it across midfield to Oliveira, bodied up by Musendin. Oliveira still battling for it, trying to get away from another defender. I believe that's Guarini on him, and Guarini will eventually knock it away. Good defense by him. Oliveira will, after initially looking to take the throw in himself. And we're being told no stoppage time in this first half, so it will be 45 minutes flat, so less than a minute and a half left to play here. Paiva has it taken away. Here comes Folks. Had it knocked away by Ganime. Tachu there to secure the ball for the Villages. And now Jackson Lee will send out of the back. Here is Lukasik. Looking up that right sideline. He's got Mauro charging in front of him, now lays off. Into Santos. Back to Tachu. Out here to Murtha. Into Oliveira. See how hard the cap of 45 minutes is. If they stop right at that mark, or if it's still on a reasonable stoppage of play as Mauro turns it back to Lopez. Not a lot of time for the Villages to advance here. 25 seconds till the end of regulation. Mauro back to Santos. Santos out wide to Murtha. Murtha into Paiva. Paiva stopping, turning. Is it inside to Oliveira? To Mauro. Mauro looking for a shot, had it knocked away. And quickly on the counterattack, here comes Weston as we close in on exactly 45 minutes now. Santos running this one down, takes it away from Markowitz, and there is the whistle. So after 45 minutes, just about exactly, the Villages leads Weston FC 3-0. We'll take a break, and we'll be back with you shortly. Just want to take a quick moment to thank the Villages SC's 2021 corporate partners, without whom we'll see how they look in the second half. One substitution for Anderson de Silva's squad after the break. Will Centeno coming onto the pitch for Cedric Tachu, who we were talking just before we came back onto the microphones, we don't believe has been off the field yet this year for
I don't think
the
so.
Buffalo. So we'll see how they fare without him in the middle, but Will Centeno has played some great minutes for the Villages in relief of some other guys as Villages SC has the ball on the back line. We'll see. Expect them to continue to press in the second half despite the 3-goal lead. Anderson De Silva not one to call off the dogs, as it were, and he's continually seeking extra goals and believes that the best defense is a good offense. So we'll see what the Villages can muster here in the second half as Lukasic intercepts the throw-in pass. Lucas Mauro has it taken away. This is Musenden. Plays back to Gonzalez. No substitutions at the half for Weston, although they did make the 2 substitutions relatively early. Santos battling here with Rivas. Lukasic stepping in front of that one. Now we'll take it back towards the center. Gives to Butler, who is trying to find Mauro on the one-touch pass, but is taken away by the Weston defense. Now, long pass out to the far right side will run out of bounds. That's from Santino Lupicatondo, who had a tough first half, under siege for much of those first 45 minutes. Talked about the intensity of that Village's pressure. He was the man having to face up to a lot of it. Ended up having 3 punched past him. Shot that was deflected from Cedric Tachu, Lucas Mauro's bullet goal, and then Lucas Mauro cleaned up one in front of goal, and Oliveira also had a longer shot that made it into the net. Corner kick coming, something we saw plenty of in that first half. This will be the 6th of the contest for the Villages, as Oliveira trots out to that far corner.
Yeah, the Buffalo have been very dangerous when it comes to corners, and you're expecting one of these eventually tonight to get in the back of the net because they've been close several times now.
See here, Oliveira giving the signal. Takes the hands down. Short pass in. Murtha takes the shot, deflected away. Mendoza looking to lead a quick counterattack. Flips one over Butler to himself. Plays it up ahead. Intercepted, though. He was looking for Folks. Yago Lopez quickly sending it back. Nick Butler going to try to track this one down to keep the opportunity alive for the Villages, but is unable to keep it. It will be a goal kick now once again for Weston. Gonzalez from Musenden. Sit around Centeno to Folks. Folks out wide for Rivas, near side, working against Lukasic. Lukasic staying in front of him, and he manages a great tackle, takes that one away. Centeno will play it back to Yago Lopez, who quickly has to get rid of it to Lukasic. Lots of pressure here from Weston. Rivas, great tackle, pays back Lukasic. Musenden taps through to Folks. Folks out to Mendoza in the corner. And it looks like an offsides call against Weston FC, second of the game, second on them. See a little bit more intensity from the visitors after going into the locker room down 3 goals. We saw after that first goal they conceded, they stepped it up a little bit more pressure up front, and the Villages kind of took advantage of the back end, managed to get that second goal, and you saw them kind of settle back into what they do a little bit more normally, which is move the back line up slowly, managed to stay pretty compact for the most part as Mauro takes this one off the nifty pass from Oliveira, flipped into the center. Butler not able to get to it as it's intercepted by Gonzalez. Daniel Oliveira back on it, though, gets it to Lukasic. To Mauro. Mauro back towards the touchline, trying to shake his defender. That's Adam Gonzalez that he's working against. Oliveira will play back to Centeno. The center for Santos. Santos off to Butler. Butler looking to take a right-footed shot there, perhaps. Flicks one back out to Centeno as it came back to him off the deflection. Now Ganime lobs it up over the top. Butler chasing it back to the corner with him as well as Paiva. Paiva manages to keep it in, and I think will be whistled for a high kick here. And actually an offside. That's the first against the Villages in this game. Long pass up over the top. Markowitz chasing. Closing in on it is Ganime. He makes the sliding tackle. Great stop there by the center back. Centeno looking to get around Rivas here. Will play out to Lukasic. Lukasic plenty of space to work with here on this right side. He's got Mauro up ahead of him. Now stops, turns it back to Centeno. Villages will set something up here as Santos takes it in the middle. Up to the left for Murtha. Murtha cutting inside now, working around one defender. Now sends a cross. Adam Gonzalez will intercept with the chest. Settles it and plays it back to his defensive line. This is Andres Gonzalez. Played forward and back again. Gonzalez still trying to clear. Will send it out of bounds. And it'll be a throw-in for the Villages. Yago Lopez taking quickly, gets to Centeno. Will Centeno. Back to Ganime. Plays up to midfield. Centeno pushing. Gets it to Butler, who perhaps misstepped a little bit right there. Wasn't able to settle that one. Markowitz leaves it back for Loose Patton. And this will play all the way back to Lupicatondo. Andres Gonzalez working it forward from him. Played up ahead to Adam Gonzalez. Into the middle. And this one will get past Portela. Oliveira for the Villages. Plays out to Murtha. Oliveira once again on it. Paiva running ahead of him. Oliveira stops, now leaves it off for Paiva, has to take it back here. And they will say that one just tricked out of bounds a little bit. Throw in for Weston. I believe that's Garini sending it long. And into the Buffalo fans there on the far side. Throw in for the Villages. We've got to track down a ball here, as that one is somewhere over on the first practice field. The Picatondo coming in to resume play. Murtha, throw in. Butler trying to settle, can't keep it, but Santos has it. Played back to Murtha. Murtha has it knocked away by Mendoza, but Ganime is there. Play out to Lukasic. Lukasic looking to push. He has his legs taken out from underneath him by Rivas, but the Village is still on the ball. Referee will let them play advantage. Mauro looking to cross, has it taken away. Rivas plays into the middle for Musendin. Send it back to Portela, out to Garini. Andres Gonzalez. Portela by way of Musendin. It's out to the far right side. Paiva working on Booth Patton. Back to Garini. Paiva will come up to pressure now. This comes all the way back to Andres Gonzalez. Musendin. Still unable to get it out of the back line is Weston FC as Garini once again fields it on the far right. Now we'll try to play it up over the top. Ganime tracking that way, gets a foot to it, plays it forward. Paiva will not be able to track this one down to keep it in bounds, but good play by the center back right there to stop the long pass. 9 minutes elapsed. We saw 45 minutes and virtually no stoppage time in the first half. Pretty quick and very action-filled first period of play. May have been a little bit spoiled as two teams doing a lot more probing and a little bit less aggressive attacking here in the second half. As I say that, Mauro fields a ball up in the far corner, a little space to work as he moves along the touchline against Andres Gonzalez. Tries a cross. This one goes well long. And into the stands once again. As I was saying, might have been spoiled a little bit by all the action in that first half. 3 goals, several corner kicks for the Buffalo. Plenty of opportunities.
Yeah, I think the second half is definitely going to be more of a tactical battle because Weston's going to be looking to drive forward because now they pretty much have nothing to lose at this point, and the Buffalo are going to be trying to go forward but at the same time protecting their clean sheet as well. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how the two teams set up in this second half.
And the thing that will be interesting to see is how long does head coach Anderson De Silva leave in most of his starters. He's got some more subs available to him, and as we've mentioned a couple times already on the broadcast, very busy part of the schedule here. Second of 5 games in the span of 12 days. And here comes Murtha. Leaves off for Paiva, who's been quiet so far this half. We'll give it to Oliveira in the center. Oliveira plays out wide to Lukasic. Kasich, nice touch here. Up ahead to Mauro. Back to Lukasic. To Oliveira. He's got a little bit of room to work here. Now plays back to Lukasic. And Centeno. Plays across. Ganime. Pushing forward now. The center back. Cuts inside. Good bit of footwork from him. Leaves to Centeno. Centeno's going to switch it out wide to Murtha. Curling pass up in the air there. Settled by the left back. And he will play back for Butler, who will roll one across to Centeno. Excuse me, that is Yago Lopez on it. Lopez, Lukasic, trying to play it in. Mauro turning back towards the touchline, had it knocked away by Gonzalez, but that will earn the Villages a goal kick. Excuse me, a corner kick. So yet another coming for the Villages. They go quickly. Daniel Oliveira trying to come in here. And he's taken down. This should be a card. We'll see exactly where the spot is. Looks to be outside the box. Referee points to the spot.
Yellow card issued.
And just outside the box it would appear. So right along the touchline. Interesting spot. What exactly do you do in a spot like this? Because you're right up against the touchline, so tough to curl something in towards goal, but also so close. You don't have a whole lot of time to make a run on a pass from that spot.
Yeah, I think, at least for me, I think I would pretty much drill the ball as hard as I could, low and hard through the box. And sometimes even if your guy doesn't get a foot on it, sometimes the defenders will go to stab at it, and sometimes it can end up being deflected and sometimes going in for an own goal. So
just play the odds.
Yeah.
Okay. As, we see Junior Linval Acosta getting set to check into the game. Another Villages staple, and this one's going to be played up over the top. Villages comes in with a head. I believe that was Centeno that got to it. I was shielded off of it there, but I believe it was him, and saved right there by Lupica Tondo, who has made a couple of great saves tonight, as much as he's also had a tough time stopping some of these shots from the Villages. SC has done a good job on some of these tough plays.
Yeah, that was a really good first-time volley from William Centeno there, and an equally good save. Down low and hard. It looked like it was just going to creep in, but the keeper did well to get down.
Yago Lopez trying to get the Villages back on the attack. Another substitute getting ready for Weston as well. Daniel Lopez here on the sideline. We'll see who these two will be replacing. As Mauro is tracking Adam Gonzalez back into the corner. Good footwork there by Gonzalez. Long ball played up ahead. Ganime coming in to settle. Put the Villages back on the attack. Taking it all the way to the third. Tried a shot and went high. Just barely staying below the top of the backstop there. And it will be Pedro Santos coming off the field for Juju DaCosta. And talked about Cedric Tachu barely coming off the field. Santos is another one who has been on for the vast majority of the Villages minutes this season, if not all of them.
Yeah, I think he's another one. I don't think he's been subbed out this whole season so far, so this is probably just to give him a little bit of a rest, just like you said, with the intense few games that we have coming up in such a short span of time.
Chris DeLon getting set to check in as well. We'll see if he's permitted to come on at this juncture or if he will have to wait. Santos hands off the captain's armband to a man who's worn it several times before, Yago Lopez, very familiar with that responsibility for the Villages. Yago Lopez, who has played in almost every game in the history of the franchise, been here all 5 years with the team. And DeLon will come in for Nicholas Butler. So
Entering number 31, Hot Wheels, Crystal
couple of guys who have played a lot of minutes, especially in this most recent part of the season, getting some reprieve. All right, and here's Musendin as play resumes. 60 minutes gone so far. 2/3 of the way through this one. Musendin working against DeLon. Gives him a little bit of space. Played far up that right side. Boost Patton will try to settle it, but couldn't keep it quite close enough to his body there, and Paiva's able to take it away. Murtha now playing back to DaCosta, his first touch of the game. Ganime plays forward for Centeno. All the way back to Yago Lopez. Lukasic. Back to Lopez. Pressure from Folks. Weston going to be coming hard in the finishing third. A touch by Oliveira, nicely played, gets it out wide. Mauro chasing this one down. He's going to get to it. Has a chance to cross here. He does. DeLon had a touch. Very nearly scored on his first touch of the game. He's a little tangled up in the net there. You can see how hard he was coming in for that ball, and the cross was maybe just a bit low as he jumped up, ended up playing it. It looked like off the chest and deflected up over the bar.
Yeah, that was a really good ball to find Lucas Morrow out here on the right side, and then good cross, just a little high and a little low. It was just high enough to where he couldn't tap it in, and too low he couldn't head it in. So that's kind of one of those awkward moments to be in.
We'll see what happens here as the Villages is back on the attack. Mauro on it once again, tried a shot, tried to curl it into that near corner, but tough angle, and he ends up sending it over the bar once again.
You can tell Lucas Morrow's definitely wanting to get something more out of this game. He's been looking good the past couple chances going forward, so maybe he can bag another one for tonight.
Good tackle there by Paiva. Gets the ball back for the Villages as Lukasic is now with it on the right side. He's looking for somewhere to send it. We'll play back to Centeno. Actually, Oliveira now on it. Ooh, nifty move there. Little Meg on Mendoza. Played out to DeLon. DeLon. I think that might have been a handball right there on that play as it bounced back down. But Mauro comes away with it, tries a shot, and it looks like it went a little bit wide. Murtha tries a cross in here. It will go off of Lupicatondo and out of bounds into the Tri-County Stampede. So it should be another corner kick coming for the Villages. And that challenge there by Paiva, the attacker playing some good defense, earning the Villages an opportunity here. And if I'm not mistaken, that'll be him setting up over the free kick. Paiva, known for his scoring prowess, but also led the Villages in assists in 2019. Pretty good all-around up-front player. High ball, curling. Centeno trying to get ahead to it. Hits the deck. It's cleared out, but not too far. Oliveira settles it, plays it out to Paiva. See if he tries another cross here. Works it up to the touchline, makes the turn, and ball played away and out of bounds safely this time by Weston. So throw in for the Villages on the far side.
That was some really good sustained pressure from the Villages. They've been kind of sitting back for the most part of the second half, but now they're looking to go forward even again.
Another sub getting ready to check in for Weston FC. That's Giancarlo Dostilio. Being told that he will be replacing Tavon Musendin, who's had a very busy game in the back for the Villages. Lukasic's going to try a shot. Looked like it maybe could have snuck inside that post, but there to scoop it up was the Picatondo.
Austin Lukasic, I think, has had a very quietly good game tonight. He hasn't had any very exciting moments, but defending, he's been really good. And even in the first half, he had that really good ball into Paiva that led to a goal that was called off for being a foul. But I think Austin Lukasic has done a very good job tonight.
Yeah, played a really steady game, hasn't misplayed many, if any, balls, is settling everything well, doing a good job, making decisions, it seems like. And, yeah, unfortunately, that beautiful pass won't count for anything in the stat books. Would have gone in as an assist, and a memorable one at that, but wiped out by the foul at the point of contact where Paiva scored. So this one placed all the way back to the Weston keeper. Weston getting set to exhaust all their substitutions. As we already mentioned that Destilio would be coming in, and set to join him is Ian Jimenez. Signal from
Substitutions incoming for
the
both teams.
referee here. We'll see Tete Vacas, who scored an incredible goal for the Villages, the game winner at
Daniel Vacas.
Florida Elite on Saturday.
That's the goal that was scored the Villages versus Florida Elite.
See who he'll be replacing in just a moment. Daniel Oliveira, it appears, is coming off the field.
To find a goal in soccer at any level this year that was better than his goal the last
Oliveira making his way off after playing an outstanding game, finally getting his first goal of the season.
Yeah, very solid performance from Daniel Oliveira tonight.
Number 16, Giancarlo. They're still
And we see Rivas and Musenden, both of whom have been very busy in very different parts of the field tonight, come off the pitch for Weston, two of their best players, at least in the time that we've seen them here at the Villages SC. As now Juju works through the middle with this one. Plays it out, didn't quite give it enough, and one of the substitutes coming in to make a play here, but good stop by Iago Lopez, and now a foul called. This one going against Weston FC. Lopez down and afraid to see him getting up slowly, and looks as though he'll stay in the game. Lopez quickly plays back to Jackson Lee, getting away from Folks. Ganime, roller, up forward. Juju trying to tap through, but intercepted. Tete Vacas up, bringing the pressure. Cleared out by Lupicatondo. Murtha, good header there, keeping the attack on for the Villages. Chested down. DeLon, though, getting a touch to it. Mauro now contesting for this one. Lukasic also chasing. We're just talking about what a good game he's played, just unable to win that one. Iago Lopez, I think, telling Anderson de Silva that he's good, doesn't want to come off the field. Calling my grasp of Portuguese would elementary would be overstating it, but I think I understood the message there.
Yeah.
Captain staying in the game for now. Mendoza playing out to the far side. Booz Patton settling on the right. Plays into the middle, miscommunication by Weston there, and now the Villages quickly can get on the counterattack. Wilson Tano is going to take it slowly now. Lopez coming up, now playing forward. Adam Gonzalez settles, and we've got a whistle for a foul on the near side here. It was away from the action, I think. Referee's going to back up this kick. See Folks kind of stalking the placement. And there, the referee finally tells him to move back away from the kick. Now Juju playing up across midfield. Forward to DeLon. DeLon trying to settle off his chest. Flicks it over a man, getting grabbed by the jersey there, and that will be whistled. And that was Daniel Lopez, who had a fistful of green kit. As DeLon was trying to stay on that ball, Centeno quickly takes the free. To Juju, back to Centeno. He will play back to Ganime. And he will complete the square by passing to Lopez. Lopez, the right. Mauro battling for it, working around Lukasic. Two defenders on him. Now Lopez closing in. Goes to the turf. Referee will let them play on here as the Villages still has possession. Ganime moving it forward. Juju flexing out to his left. Murtha also making a run. Plays inside to Centeno. He can't settle it, but Mauro is there. Mauro back to Ganime. We'll play it forward to Tete Vacas. Tete looking for Lukasic. Lukasic trying to track this one down. He will stop it at the touchline. Now flips it across. Header by Paiva going to be stopped. Paiva again looking to get back that goal that he would have scored in the second minute.
And again, it was Austin Lukasic whipping in that ball. He's had some good moments going forward. Just unfortunate, I think, tonight not to have an assist on the sheet.
Again, player that might not show up in the box score tonight, but has played outstanding soccer this evening. DeLon doing a good job coming all the way back, making a good tackle there. You saw him riding the hip and then waited for his moment and managed to get a foot around to knock that ball away. Now the Villages on the resulting possession. Murtha to Vacas. Left off for Paiva. Up top, Murtha trying to track this one down. And has it knocked away. Murtha down in front of the Tri-County Stampede section there. Let's see if he can get a hand from Buff. No, Buff's going to leave him to get himself up. Village is getting ready to make another substitution. Fernando Galvis getting set to come on. Played in that match this past weekend. Started a couple of times for the Villages this season, now making an appearance in relief. And he will come on for Iago Lopez, who, as we mentioned before, did not want to come out of this game. He will hand off the band to Eric Ganime. You'll see here what the new back line looks like for the Villages. Whether this is a one-for-one switch and Galvis will play as center back, or he typically plays on the wing, so we'll see if someone slots over into that center back position, perhaps Lukasik. Galvis for now hanging around the center back areas. Ganime is up for a header potentially. Corner kick is in. Head got to it, but couldn't keep it below the bar. DeLon crossed. It looked like he might have missed it, and I think Ganime was the one who got to it and sailed just a little bit high. Rolled out to Boost Patton here. Mendoza. Here, there's Fernando Galvis already interfering with Weston's plans as he knocks that ball away out of bounds. Boost Patton, quick throw in the middle for Lopez. Back to Andres Gonzalez. Lopez again. Vacas hounding. Now near side to Adam Gonzalez, who made a great move to get around DeLon. Plays it into the middle, but Juju is there to take it away. But Weston regains possession here. Great job right there by Ian Jimenez. Mendoza into the middle. Juju again with the interception. Galvis looking for somewhere to go with this one. Has it knocked away. Stay with the Villages, but Giancarlo Destilio knocking that ball away from him right there. And the final substitute getting ready to come in for Weston, Dylan Dervishi. As Ganime sends this one long, looking to change fields, goes all the way up there. Boost Patton, though, the one who settles it. And on that far side is Destilio. And now put across. This is Gonzalez to Lopez. Lopez has to play it back. Gonzalez quickly gets rid of it. Murtha there with the header. Vacas tracking. Can't get to it, but still staying with the play. Now Weston moving forward with it. Boost Patton trying to settle. Gives Juju enough time to catch up. Guarini on it. Plays it around Paiva. And he will receive it back from Boost Patton. Now gives to Mendoza. Mendoza playing it out to the near side here. Adam Gonzalez looking to turn with it off the first touch. Now we'll look to play something out to the far side. You see the intensity from Weston. They trail by 3 goals with just over 15 minutes to play in regulation time in this match. Weston looking to stay alive in the standings here tonight. A loss would just about take them out of with the Villages climbing even further ahead of the rest of the field. To the corner, Boost Patton plays it back, little healer there. I believe that was Portella, but unable to connect on the play he was attempting to make there. Vacas to Paiva. Haven't shared the field a lot this season. A couple of dangerous offensive players. Ganime, near side for Lukasik. Drops back to Ganime. Here Here's Vacas. Tete gives it to Centeno. To DeLon, back to Centeno. Back to Juju. Takes outside, takes it inside. Now directing Centeno to take it in. Centeno takes a shot, and it's saved. Lupita Tondo, again, tough night giving up 3 goals, but has made some outstanding plays for Weston back in the net.
Yeah, that was some good build-up play, a lot of good possession from the Buffalo, and William Centeno just put his laces through that one. And like you said, really good save from the keeper.
Ganime out wide to Paiva, who will wait on it. Turns inside, trying to play one up over the top. Vaca's tracking back for it and being harassed there by Adam Gonzalez. Couldn't get a clean head to it, but they will say no foul on that one. There's that last substitute. Dervishi coming in for Weston. Dervishi will be coming on in place of someone we'll tell you momentarily.
Exiting number 7, Lucas Mauro.
And Lucas Mauro will come off the pitch to make space for Dot Fall. A goal in that first home game of the season. Also, Andrew Muller going to come onto the pitch in relief of Jackson Lee. Muller, an academy player here from the Villages SC USL Academy team. First one to make it onto the pitch in the history of the club. A great moment for the Buffalo. He gets some applause from some of his academy teammates who are stationed on the far side there. And ball from Lupita Tondo going to be kept in bounds by the combo of Lukasic and Gonzalez. Dot Fall battling for this one, going to be bodied off of it by Dervishi. And see if there's a foul here as Vacas and Gonzalez go to the ground together there. Gonzalez perhaps getting a bit of a warning there from the referee. Throw in, knocked out of bounds. Weston will take over possession here. With a win tonight, the Villages would improve to 5-0-1, remain undefeated tonight. That would put them 4 points ahead of Florida Elite, put them well ahead of Weston, 8 points ahead of the visitors. In fact, just 4 games left to play in the schedule, a little bit condensed this year. Only 6 teams in the Southeast Division. Ganime on this one. It's off to Juju. Murtha. To Muller, who plays out to Ganime. Ganime turns back to his keeper. Out wide to Murtha. Murtha advancing up the left side here. Now we'll play into the center. I think it may have been deflected. Makes it back to Andres Gonzalez. He plays to Adam Gonzalez. And he will play all the way back to Lupita Tondo. This is Mendoza now on it. Pass in for Dervishi. Adam Gonzalez calling for it. Played up through the middle. Ganime streaking back towards that one. Shielding off Folks as Muller comes out to play it. Does so successfully. Centeno for Lukasic. Kasich has it knocked away by Dervishi. Folks chasing after this one now. Ganime on it, going to shield. And we've got a whistle there, perhaps a bit early. Ganime take the free kick quickly over to Miller. Miller will send out to Gustavo Murtha, and he will play it up towards the midfield. Juju dispossessed there, working against 2 players. On the far side, Weston looking for a cross. Murtha gets in front of it, does a great job, works out towards the edge. Murtha back on it, can't keep it in bounds though, so Weston will have a throw in their offensive third as we've eclipsed 80 minutes played now. Quick throw in. There's Galvis on it. Plays back to Ganime. Up the middle for Fall. Paiva streaking on his right. Can't quite settle this one. And we've got a whistle and a card now coming out. And this one, it would appear, is going, can't quite tell if that's Jay Portela or if that's Daniel Lopez out there.
I think you're just starting to see a lot of frustration coming from Weston now. They haven't had too much of the ball this game, and now every time the Buffalo try and go forward, you're seeing a lot of late tackles come in, kind of sloppy challenges. I think both teams right now are just starting to get to that fatigue point of the game.
And it was, in fact, Portela who was issued the warning. Another entry into the stat book to be submitted later. Murtha moves forward to DaCosta. Vacas trying. Bicatondo. High pass onto that far side. Played back to Guarini. Federico Guarini trying to go over the top to find Giancarlo Dostilio, but taken away by the Villages. Galvis in for DeLon. Vacas trying to play the 3-way sort of overlap play there. Good play through by Galvis to DeLon. DeLon looking for somewhere to go with this one. Trying to shake a defender. I believe that's Dostilio on him. Taken down here. Back on the ball, though, and taken away now by Weston. Mendoza trying to lead it back the other way. Weston trying to avoid the shutout. That ball knocked out of bounds by Weston, so the Villages once again taking back over possession. Already walked you through the standings. The Villages, with the 2 wins over Florida Elite, really grabbed the steering wheel in the division and putting themselves pretty comfortably up ahead with a win tonight. Run you through the upcoming schedule in just a moment as Chris DeLon fields this one, plays back to Centeno. And this ball deflected up in front of the goal. Fall chasing, can't get to it. It's up in the air. Lukasic trying to settle underneath it, gets a heel to it, but Folks on it. Lukasic staying in between him and the Buffalo goal. As Folks tries an overlap, Lukasic gets a foot to it, but pushing it forward is Dervishi. Managed to keep it in bound off his chest. Ganime, so calm on that back line, just taking that ball away. So smooth. Over the top, Paiva onside here, looking to track this one down. Has a couple of guys to work against here, trying to get around Adam Gonzalez first. Gets it to Dot Fall, gets it back from him. Now playing it in front of the goal, gets it in front of Tupika Tondo. And Dot Fall able to tap it in. A great job by Leo Paiva working there against multiple defenders. The little give and go between the two of them right there, and then the unselfishness of Paiva to leave it off for the automatic goal. And Dot Fall has his second of the season, tying Paiva for the team lead.
Yeah, that was really beautiful play. It started with Eric Ganime just calmly winning the ball back in defense and playing in Leo Paiva. And then he had some good footwork and then played a really good 1-2 with Dot Fall and then was able to send it right back to him and get a good tap in. So it's really good that they were able to get another goal late in the second half. I think that's going to be, this game overall is going to be a really good momentum game, especially like you said, a busy schedule coming up, and to kind of start off that busy schedule with a second win at home and to get as many goals as they did. I think that's going to be a really good boost for the team.
Speaking of that schedule, you guys will play at Tampa Bay United, a new team in the USL League 2, and they'll be there this coming Saturday, and then you follow that up with another road game on Wednesday down at FC Miami City for a rematch. That was a 3-0 win here earlier in the season, so going to their place, we'll see how that one shakes out. And then back here the Saturday following for a rematch with FC Florida. And that was one of the more intense matches of the season, that 1-0 win by the Villages. Paiva had the winner in that one, but a hard-fought game for the Buffalo to get away with a win in that one.
Yeah, I think that was one of the toughest games. I know, obviously, the game that we played against Florida Elite at home with going 2 men down was very tough, but with the full 11 people on the field, I think that was one of the most challenging games tactically. FC Florida came out very organized and everything, so it'll be interesting to see how the second matchup plays out.
Again, that will be a week and a half from now. After these back-to-back road games Saturday and Wednesday, Centeno cross in off the corner, played back out for Galvis. He's going to take a shot, and Lupicatondo there to make the save again. Busy he has been tonight in front of that goal.
Yeah, it's unlucky that the goalie's had 4 goals go past him tonight because he really has had some really good saves, a lot of really firm shots that's come at him that he's been able to deal with. So even though it wasn't quite the game he wanted going that way, he's got a lot to be proud of still with a lot of the saves he's made.
Lopez trying to advance it here. Folks has it knocked away by Galvis, or excuse me, by Austin Lukasik. We see here this ball up ahead for Dot Fall, going to be a little bit too far ahead of him, and played out of bounds. Have some miscommunication right there. Lupicatondo just sending it out the sideline over the Buffalo bench. Lukasik with the throw in here, goes quickly to Tite Vacas. He gets it back from Paiva, now gives it to him again. Paiva looking to get the Villages another one here, all the way up to the touchline, crosses, it hits the deck, and a shot by Juju DaCosta, again saved. So the Villages hunting another goal, end up padding the stat box for Lupicatondo.
Good play from the Buffalo. Even this late in the game, they're still moving that ball around really well. 1-2 touch. Good shot from Junior DaCosta there. Good save as well.
DaCosta, a player that's been around with the Villages SC several seasons. Fan favorite and gets a lot of celebration anytime he makes a play from the Thundering Herd and Tri-County Stampede. Mendoza. Pass over the top as we enter the 90th minutes, being told there's going to be 2 minutes of stoppage added onto this one. Ganime once again intercepting. Nice play there. Playing up ahead. He's got Dot Fall. Paiva trailing. Fall working on the outside. Trying to go across for Paiva, but it was a little bit too far past him. Maybe earlier in the game, Leo could have made the extra step to get to that one at this point, though. Just unable to quite get there. As you see, he looks pretty tired down at that end of the pitch. A little bit slow getting back.
Yeah, Leo's had to make a lot of long sprints tonight, put in a lot of effort.
And he's had some battles as well, seeing that the players that they've put against him when he was over on the left side, Boost Patton meeting him almost immediately, even before he would receive the ball, and then having Federico Guarini behind him to deal with a lot of that. And then Adam Gonzalez, who's very active. The stack of the Gonzalez is over when he moved to this right side, have been there to defend him. So
Yeah.
Weston FC paying him a lot of attention, and he's had to contend with that as well. Still been very active on the offensive end, has the assist, very nearly had that early goal. So
Yeah.
making a huge impact on this game just with his presence, but also with the way that he's been able to play. Now on the ball, charging towards the goal again. You see a little bit of second wind, played in for Tete Vacas. Fall has his knocked away, and Paiva, it appears, is just about completely out of gas. See if De Silva looks as though he will leave him in for just the 2 minutes of stoppage here, but tough time right now for Paiva. Here's DaCosta. He's out to Murtha. Murtha space to work with Folks, the only man playing up for Weston. At this point,